How to double text the right way. Guys, believe it or not, there is a right way to double text, and there's also a wrong way. And I'll be getting into both in today's video. But I want to take a step back first, because the reason why so many of you are in the position first, where you actually even need to consider double texting, is because your first text was just boring. You shot yourself in the foot. You literally dug your grave, and then if you keep up that energy with the second double text, you're just gonna hop right into it. So instead, I'm gonna show you a common scenario using the Guy app, link in the description. It's helping men finally text like the catch they are, and most importantly, go from app to date in 12 messages or less. And so, I'm sure you guys have all been there. You match with a girl on Hinge, and your first text is something like, "Hey Samantha, it's Brian from Hinge, winks face. How's your day going so far?" Now I'm gonna throw this up here on the screen so you can actually see how the guy analyzes this text, because the guy is not just some sort of AI pickup line generator. No, it's actually gonna give you an analysis of where you're going wrong in the chat and 3 hand-picked lines to move forward. Okay, but most importantly, you guys should get on the Guy app, and there's a free trial, because it will stop you from fumbling with this type of nonsense right away. It'll stop you from shooting yourself in the foot, okay? So like, as you know, "Hey Samantha" is literally a customer service greeting. It's so boring. And now, if you keep up that energy, you're gonna double text with something like, "Ha ha, guess you're busy, hope you're having a good one, smiley face." In what world is she actually going to respond to that? What you have to do is just go full absurdity, okay? That's the only way this is gonna work. You have to inject some chaos into the chat. So the guy will give you 3 lines, all right? Number 1, "I need a lawyer and I don't want to talk about why." Number 2, "Something happened at Target and I think they have me on camera." Or number 3, "I just got a bill in the mail addressed to someone else and I opened it and now I can't undo that." And then it says, "I'd go with 2. Brian just became a person. She forgot wallpaper Brian existed, and now there's a man with a Target incident in her inbox," okay? So guys, you need to be the entertaining one. You need to be the one that's providing the good vibes, okay? And that's gonna make it way easier for her to actually respond to you, okay? Because the first line of opening right there of "Hey Brian," or "Hey Samantha, it's Brian from Hinge. How's your day going so far?" Guys, that's a homework opener. That's gonna require her to do work, think about what to say, and then it's just gonna lead to polite back and forth conversation. There's not gonna be a spark. There's not gonna be any flirtation, and you're just not gonna get the vibe that you're really after, okay? And you're certainly not gonna get her out on the date. But when you just inject some chaos, it's so much easier for her to actually play with you in the conversation, okay? So much of what the Guy app is doing is just helping our customers flirt over text, because so many of our customers are just in LinkedIn DM mode, okay? And she can feel that energy and she hates it, okay? So guys, I think that's all I really wanted to say for this video. I mean, guys, what you have to understand is that you're putting yourself on the back foot with the boring text in the first place. And then another thing I want to address is that double texting isn't inherently bad, okay? So many red pill guys will say, or the influencers will say, that if she drops off at any point, that's it, it's over. But I disagree, especially when you're sending terrible texts. But I can just tell you from experience, so many times I was able to get the girl out on the date, and then we would go on to have several dates, but it's only because early on in the process, I double texted at some points, okay? And if you double text the right way, going back to the start of this video, it can actually be done in a way that's actually fun and attractive and shows that you're not taking things too seriously. And let me give you an example of what that actually looks like here. Another example. So say you use the Guy app, all right? You finally took my advice, and I appreciate you for trusting me. You use the Guy app, and you said something ridiculous. You said something like, "My therapist said you're a walking red flag and threatened to double my rate if I see you again," okay? Not bad, not bad. Maybe you met her in person at the bar, then the next morning you text her that. Solid. Certainly much better than, hey Samantha, it's Brian from bar XYZ. How was the rest of your night?" All right, and then so at that point though, she doesn't respond for 24 hours, and you break character, you break rank, you totally drop the costume, you totally drop the bit, you panic and you say, "Ha ha, anyway, how's your week going?" Terrible. And then you'll see right here why the guy will say that will never work. You literally just collapsed in front of her. You showed your cards. It was all just an act. and now she's got you exactly figured out. What you got to understand, guys, is that it's the mystery of the absurd texting mixed with actually being a high value man, in the sense that you have your finances figured out, you've got the career figured out, you're in good shape, you have hobbies, you have friends, you dress well. When you have all that going for you, but then you text like a complete toddler, like a total disaster, that's the intrigue, that's the mystery, that's what's going to make her actually want to stick around and get to know you, okay? And so you'll see here that the way you double text in this scenario, when you actually had a good first text, is that you don't ever reference the silence. You don't ever reference the fact that she didn't get back to you, okay? Because this is what actually starts to read as high value. Instead, what you're gonna do is you're just going to update her on the chaos. So for number one, update, she doubled my rate anyway. Or number two, I just recognized a Walgreens and I don't know what from what. Or I just got recognized at a Walgreens and I don't know from what. Or three, something happened at the park today and I need to tell someone, but I don't know where to start. All those are going to be so easy for her to re-engage back in the conversation, okay? So guys, hopefully you got the moral of this video, which is that it's okay to double text. But usually, 80% of the time, your first text was the problem, and the other 20% of the time, you just don't know how to go about it effectively in the first place. So guys, if you are a catch in real life, and you know she would love you in person, but you struggle on the apps, and you just can't get the girl out on the date, then what are you still doing? Check out the guy, free trial, link in the description, paste in a conversation, and get 3 handpicked lines to move forward, all right? Guys, don't be afraid to double text. These ladies are in high demand. Sometimes you just gotta suck it up and do it, all right? That's it for me in this one. I'll talk to you next time. Subscribe, 5 videos a week. I'll see you later. Bye.